like it was yesterday. The panic, the hysteria, and then the acceptance. Acceptance that Earth was going to be destroyed, and our only grim consolation was that there was nothing we could do to stop it. The neutron star collided, and millions of years of our history got wiped out in an instant. That's why they developed the Rebirth Project. Everyone on Earth fighting for survival, and a lottery among the fittest to see who gets to live thousands of light years away. I won, and that's why I'm here on this Ark ship. I'm a pioneer, one of millions, and our job will be to rebuild civilization in this new solar system. I've been frozen for the entirety of the trip, and now I'm ready to embark on my journey. Our journey.
No, tak jo. Šiš. Dobrý. To by šlo. Ty, mám to pěkně. Jo. Proč by ne? Nazdar Vinci. Neumím, no, hraju to poprvé. Kundo. Jsme pak mohli dát něco. Možná zkusit i toho Hanta a potřebuju tohleto odstreamovat a ještě něco, mám tady asi 5 her ve skluzu teď. Jsem říkal, že aspoň 2. Ten zbytek zítra třeba. Ale tohle to podle toho, co psali, tak by to vůbec nemuselo být špatný. Protože jestli jsem to dobře pochopil, tak ty tady stavíš tady se hráčema vesmírný lodě a vlastně všechno. Takže by to úplně muselo být špatný, jenom nesmíš mít bandu debilů na to stavění. Což bude problém. Čau bestíku. Kde máš Huskyho? Někde chrápe, ne? Jaký dlouhý loading, tyjo. Si to generuje ten svět, nebo co to dělá? Vůbec nevím. Nebo si to hledá nějaký server. Třeba mu pes utek. Jsem to asi nenainstaloval na ten SSDčko. Už nevím, trochu to trvá. Extra potichu, to je blbost. Už. To je divný. Co teď? Už.
Welcome to Alioth, Novian. I am Ophelia, the Arkship AI. I will assist you in your first steps, seeing as you just woke up from an extended cryosleep period. Keep an eye on the chat window in the lower left part of the screen. It contains a transcript of what I say, with important information about which keys to press. There is a button near the window that you can use at any time to replay this tutorial in the future. I have marked it with a green waypoint. You can also abort the tutorial by pressing the abort key at any time, but this is not recommended. To start, let's make sure your motor skills are not affected. Simply head towards the green waypoint behind the stairs, using the movement keys.
Moment. Nastavení auto. Taky si mi to dát na medium, ale tady jsou jenom shadows, co to je za blbost. Možná vypnout volumetry cloud. Nevím. To vůbec nevím. Nevím, co to udělalo. Ale očividně je ten svět jako docela...
Very good. Now, let's try to jump. You are in perfect shape. Great. Let's try your headlight, which is very useful in dark areas. Press the headlight key twice to turn it on and off. Now, take your time to look at the world around you through the glass panes. This gigantic planet is all yours to conquer, as well as the many other planets in the system. You are free to shape the world as you see fit. Build an empire, explore the vastness of space,
Máme aktuální.
create a trade federation or a pirate alliance, or live secluded on a forgotten moon. There are no rules here, except for the ones you make for yourself. When you are ready, follow the waypoint and look through the marked window.
Ale je to beta, takže what the fuck. Activate.
The buildings in front of you are one of the many district areas of Alioth. Districts contain all the facilities that you will need to begin your journey. In particular, they host institutes where various tutorials are located. We will get back to that later.
Je to beta a ono to očividně asi je jako jeden velký svět bez loadingu.
Continue down and get close to the screen, marked with a green waypoint.
Já jsem to asi měl nahrát na to, na SSDčko taky.
Let's begin with your tools. Tools are located at the bottom of the screen in the form of quick access slots. You can select them with the quick access keys. As you can see, the last slot is currently empty. We will now learn how to equip a new tool in that place. Approach the highlighted tool dispenser unit next to you. Dispensers are elements, which are objects you can deploy in the world. Very good. The dispenser just gave you a new... The inventory is a central interface for managing everything you carry around with you. It contains items like tools, materials, elements, or blueprints. For now, locate the repair tool that was just given to you, and simply drag and drop it into the free slot below. Well done. Note that the inventory does not have an infinite capacity, it is restricted in volume. Thanks to the nanopack technology, this volume is pretty huge. Still, it is better to keep an eye on the size of objects you store. Now, close the inventory by pressing the close cross on the top right. Okay. We are now ready to continue downstairs. This time, we will need to use an elevator. Move to the way. Elevators are connected together via up and down links. Welcome to the main room. You can go back any time by stepping on the same elevator and pressing the jump key to go up. In front of you is a miniature reproduction of the Ark ship. You can perhaps see the real Ark ship through the windows in the distance. Let's try to also find it on your map. This is Alioth, the planet on which you currently stand. You can rotate the planet by clicking and dragging it with the mouse. You can also zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Zoom in and each of these tiles is a territory you can claim. Tiles in red are already claimed. Tiles in purple are non-claimable and mostly exist around the Ark ship. The Ark ship is represented by a small icon in the center of the purple tiles area. At any time, you can center onto your position on the map by pressing the center icon on the top left. Try it now. You can also create a waypoint anywhere on the surface of the planet. Waypoints are displayed in your HUD so that they are easy to track. To set a waypoint, simply right-click on a point on the map and select Set as Destination. Very good. Next, the selector area here allows you to list your constructs, review bookmarks, and see any available warp beacons or other points of interest. In the lower right corner, you can find a list of current objectives in a tutorial, usually with hints on how to achieve them.
A to je systém zóny, pak tady ještě space ten tam je.
You may have seen on the map that certain territory tiles are claimed. To claim a tile, you must deploy. As you can see, it's quite huge. Once a territory unit is deployed onto a tile, the tile belongs to you. This means that you can start to build constructs on it. You can decide who holds rights to dig the ground, and who can build next to you. Territory units are quite expensive, and will probably not be the first thing you deploy on Alioth. Instead, there is a simpler way for you to grab a piece of land. Let's discover this now. Follow the waypoint behind you, and take the elevator at the end of the room. This will take us to the observatory.
Ty vole.
Welcome to the observatory. From here, you should be able to see Alioth's moons in the sky. One of them is a very special moon, called a sanctuary moon. We will explain what that means, but first, let's try to locate it. Open the map again by pressing the map key. The map also contains a solar system view. Here you can see all the planets currently accessible in the system. Select Alioth, the planet where you currently are. As you can see, Alioth has 3 moons. Excellent. Now, good. Now, before this twin moon, just like Alioth or any other planet, is covered with tiles that you can claim. A sanctuary moon is a moon where no combat will ever occur, as it is a safe zone. This means that a territory you claim will remain yours forever, and nobody can take your belongings or build anything there without your consent. This is a great way to create a safe haven to store your valuables and build your home. You can claim only 1 tile on a sanctuary moon, and you will need a special sanctuary territory unit for that purpose. You already have 1 in your inventory, so don't worry.
Takže
Close the map window.
chápu.
Notice how the sanctuary twin moon is now identified by the waypoint in the sky. There is a shuttle service, which you will see later, that can bring you there.
Je to tam
Okay,
nebylo.
let's get back to the rest of the tutorial. Head down via the nearby elevators. Now is the time to present the key pillar activities that are available for Novians. Each will be presented here quickly, and you will be able to discover more about them via the institutes and their dedicated tutorials later. Follow the waypoint to the mining station first. Mining is how you acquire raw materials, if you don't simply buy them on the markets. Raw materials are located either on the planet's surface, or they can be buried kilometers deep underground. Surface materials have a low value, while more valuable materials, from Tier 1 to Tier 5, are found underground. The surface mining activity is performed using the harvest tool, highlighted in the toolbar below. With the tool equipped, you collect harvestable surface or by targeting them and then clicking. Press the quick access key for this tool to equip it, usually the Great. Unfortunately, there are no surface harvestable ores here. To practice, you can access to mine deep underground. First you use the scanner tool highlighted here, which finds available ores in a large radius. Once in close range, the directional detector will help you pinpoint the location of the material. Finally, the highlighted mining tool is used to collect the found material. You'll learn more about these tools in the interactive mining tutorial, located inside the Mining Institute. Now, let's talk about the markets. Approach the waypoint.
Waypoint.
Markets are an essential part of Novian life. This is where you can sell the materials you mine or create, but also buy anything that you might need. Markets are physically located in the world. They are accessible either via market pod units, like the one in front of you, or via the integrated nanomarket interface. The nanomarket interface allows you to browse markets at a distance, but cannot help you to deposit or recover items that are traded. For that, you will need to directly interact with a market pod. Let's have a quick look at the nanomarket interface. To open it, press the nanomarket key. You can search for an item that you would like to trade by using these search boxes. Nitron is a fuel you will often use and frequently buy. Type nitron in the search box to see the Here are the market orders for nitron. These are all the intentions to buy or sell nitron by other Novians on various markets in the solar system. You can pick the cheapest or the nearest offer, depending on your priorities. You can create your own buy or sell orders, or let the system pick the best offer for you. We will look into this at the end of this tutorial, when we will buy nitron for your speeder vehicle.
Rozumím.
For now, let's close it. Okay. Let's now have a look at another important activity, industry. In front of you is an assembly line, one of the many industry unit elements available. These include chemical reactors, glass furnaces, refineries, or smelters. Each industry unit type specializes in certain types of recipes. The assembly line takes ingredients from an entry container, like the one here on the left, and then runs a recipe to craft elements. The elements are stored in the exit container, as seen here on the right, that can be chained as an entry container for another industry unit. The recipes are selected using the industry unit interface. You can learn about that in the dedicated industry tutorial, found at the Industry Institute. Thankfully, entry-level recipes for simple excellent. Now, let's open the NanoCrafter by Great. This interface allows you to pick a recipe and run it in the background to produce simple products. On the left is a selection area to pick a recipe. You currently have just a few ingredients. Now click on nitron fuel to select its recipe. This window shows you the necessary ingredient. Fantastic! Your job is now in the queue and a batch of nitron will be ready in a few seconds. That will be all for this short introduction. There is of course more to know, and you can go to the Industry Institute to go through the specialized tutorials. Let's close this window. Okay, now let's learn about building, and how you can use all these materials and elements to create amazing constructs. This bizarre construction in front of you is called a construct. It is a mix of deployed voxel materials used to sculpt a shape, and deployed elements to make it functional. To create a construct, you start by deploying a core unit, highlighted here. It will create a building zone, within which you will be allowed to build. Core units come in different sizes and specializations: static cores for ground buildings, dynamic cores for ships or anything that moves, and space cores for space stations. Once you have created your building zone, you can start to deploy matter as voxel honeycomb materials, or voxels for short. You have a large palette of tools and materials to help you sculpt absolutely anything you like, regardless of shape or complexity. Finally, you can add elements to your construct, in the form of engines, doors, lights, fuel tanks, or any of the hundreds of available elements that provide functionality to your builds. Building is a vast subject. It is advised to go through the various building tutorials located inside the Construction Institute. Note that the building you are currently in, as well as all the other buildings outside, are entirely made with the same building tools. As I mentioned, you can also build space or atmospheric ships. Let's have a look at this now. This is a surface speeder, a cheap and convenient ground atmospheric vehicle. It allows you to move around planet surfaces. You will be gifted one at the end of this tutorial. Here are the hover engines, which help the speeder float above they require fuel, taken from this atmospheric fuel tank. Adjusters are small elements used to create rotational forces and help balance your ship. You also need brakes, to be able to slow down. And finally, you need a piloting seat to be able to fly it. Activating this piloting seat activates the ship, which is how you take control of it. All these elements are orchestrated via a Lua script that is generated automatically for you. But you can also modify it via a right-click menu on the piloting seat to create absolutely any kind of control you like. Note that piloting in the atmosphere of a planet or in outer space can be very different, and involves piloting is an art, a subtle interplay between your piloting skills. Piloting is not only about navigating your ship. This is a small fighter, but you can. Now, let's go to the last station and learn about organizations. Follow the waypoint. Organizations are a fundamental part of your social life as a Novian. They are groups that you can join, covering things like nations, corporations, alliances, or even group of pirates. Let's have a quick look at the organization. As you can expect, you are not part of any organization yet. Let's click the search button. You can search through this list, focusing on open organizations, which are recruiting or sorting by member numbers, name, or language. To apply for an organization, you need to open its details page. Click on the name of any of the listed organizations to open its details page. In this window, you can see a summary of relevant information regarding this organization. This area will allow you to apply to join this organization, along with a place to write a quick introduction. Joining an organization can be you can also decide to create your organization from scratch, even if this is a little bit more advanced.
SVG.
For example, managing an organization involves legates and members, rules, voting, and management of rights. This is something you will discover later. You can now close the Excellent. You have covered the basics. Now, let's move to the next step.
Jo, už jdu. Třeba bych zavřít tohle okno. Jo. Ty píču. Ta optimalizace nebude úplně nějaký úkol. Dokážu představit, jak to
Open the
nastavit.
talent window by pressing the talent key. Talents define your character abilities. They are grouped into categories that are displayed all around your avatar in this window. Here, for example, Excellent. On the left, each category hosts. Talents can be upgraded from level 1 up to level 5 by spending talent points. Each level acquired boosts a certain characteristic, described just below its name. For example, here the nanopack upgrades help to increase the size of the inventory by 200 liters for each talent level acquired. The amount of talent points you currently have is displayed on the top of the screen. Talent points, shown here, accumulate at a slow rate even when you are offline. The Invest Points button allows you to instantly train a particular talent. You need to have enough points for the talent you are aiming for. To accumulate points more quick, as you can see, the selected talent now displays in the queue. You can queue several talents to train one after the other. Note that dependencies between talents might exist, and you should train talents in the right order. See how the acquisition rate is much faster during active learning. When a talent is in a queue, it is a good practice to always have several talents scheduled in the queue, to be able to train them without interruption. Queued talents also train when you are offline. So, make sure to always have a filled queue that spans a long duration. If the queue ends when you are not online, you will fall back to the slow talent point accumulation rate. Take your time to review the existing talents. At this point, you may be overwhelmed by the number of interfaces and their shortcuts. Thankfully, you don't have to remember all that. Let's enter into free mouse mode by pressing the free mouse key. The menu on the left is a quick access to the interfaces. And since your mouse is now free, you can simply click on them. Note that you can also select the tools in your toolbar, and interact with many more menus and options in this mode. For example, the notification icon in the lower right part of the screen, which you can now access. An excellent reference is the codex. You can browse many topics in the menu here. Normally when you leave the free mouse mode, temporary windows are closed. Not the windowed codex. It can be helpful to pin some help content on the side, while you are performing the actions described in it. For now, we are going to close this window, as we need the screen space. To do so, click again on the windowed codex menu. Another source of help are hints. Hints will appear regularly on the right of the screen, depending on your actions. I've triggered a hint for you right now. You can always find them in the hint window, or by pressing the hint key, so you will never miss one. Okay. Now, close the free mouse mode and return.
Pardon, jsem to zavřel jinak, než jsem chtěl.
Let's discover a great activity that is available to you right from the start. Go through the large exits, down the stairs, to the waypoint.
Čeru.
Welcome to the Surrogate VR stations. Here you can control a remote robot in VR telepresence. This is a fantastic way to discover other locations and learn about the possibilities offered in this world. Perhaps you can visit a large organization headquarters, or play tourist in extraordinary places.
Cože?
Here is the way it works. You can enter a VR station by activating it. You can then select a destination site, among those that are public and are made accessible to you. You take control of a robot that awaits in a distant pod. Anyone can deploy a pod in their construct and make it public for visitors. However, as a robot, your capacities are limited, so this is just a way to visit an area remotely. It is not a teleport. These are fake stations, you cannot use them. But I will show you the real one on the way out, a bit later. If you look around, you may have noticed those buttons with a question mark on them. They are info buttons. They are great. The information closes automatically, or you can close it yourself with a cancel key. Another power. Good, let's continue. The next important thing to learn about is the notion of rights. Everything you own can be shared with others, but by default are only accessible by you. For example, try to deactivate the highlighted force field on the left. You can do it by pointing at it and pressing the interaction key, and let's see what happens. You received an action forbidden message, telling you that the owner of this element did not share it with you. This is actually how you can make your Now, in the same way, try to activate the left button, that controls the light above. Again, you don't have the right to activate it. Now instead, try to activate the button on the right. I have given you the right, this time it worked. You can control the light by pressing this button. To set up an element's rights in a simple way, here, you can access the Share Element, or Share Construct options, in the Construct submenu. These will allow you to grant rights to others. You can now close this menu by a much more complex system is available for advanced management. It allows for fine-tuned rights control, in particular for organizations. You can share whole constructs, manage specific types of rights, and create groups of people with certain abilities. If you want to find out more, try the rights management tutorial. Let's move on. Deactivate the force field on your right by pointing at it and pressing the interaction key. Don't worry, I have given you the proper rights. Very good. To continue our visit, go down to the lower level, using the elevator at the end of the room. On both sides of this corridor, you will find resurrection nodes. Drawing on the consequences of the Everett interpretation of quantum mechanics, we were able to design a technology that preserves your state of consciousness across multiple realities. We control the multiverse, in order to branch you onto a version of reality where you happen to respawn, here on one of these platforms, whenever you die. So, you cannot really die. There is always a version of the universe in the multiverse where you wake up, here. Beware that when you die, your inventory will not be preserved, so don't take death too lightly. It's important to know that you can craft or buy your own resurrection nodes. Alright, we are now almost ready to exit the starting hub. The last step is to collect the left and right are demonstration versions of two of the most popular UEF hovercraft speeders. These ground vehicles are extremely efficient to quickly navigate the surface of a planet, and you will need one during the first steps of your journey. Distances are real. Transportation is a necessity. You will need to get a blueprint to acquire these speeders. Each of the highlighted dispensers will grant you the blueprint of the speeder next to them. Get one of them by activating the dispenser. You can pick your favorite, or take them both.
Kouř?
The blueprint is now in your inventory. We will run it later. To deploy a blueprint, you have to have all of its components, materials and elements. You can also create your own blueprints when you want to save a copy of what you've built. This is also how you can mass produce your creations and sell them. Blueprints are like intellectual property and can become very precious. That being said, this portion of the introduction is finished. Look around you. This room is a small museum showing many elements and materials that you may want. Welcome to the outside world. In front of you is a large landing area where many ships come and go. Let's actually go to the other side. There we will find the market and the institutes.
Okay.
Follow the waypoint ahead of you. You can run by pressing the run modifier. You can also sprint at great speed by hovering above the ground thanks to your jetpack. Simply double tap the forward key. Try it now. Very good. Now, let's cross the landing pad. Great, we are now at the district's market. Let's buy a bit more fuel for our speeder. Head towards the waypoint and activate a market pod. This market pod interface is very similar to the nano market interface you saw earlier. There are however some key differences. Here again, you can see the different market orders for nitron fuel, with the current market's name appearing in orange. Since there are sell orders on this market for nitron, you can use the simplified instant buy option. Instant buy will pick the best offer on the market where you currently are. It is a very good method for beginners to easily buy something. Simply click on the local instant buy, enter a quantity here, like 10 liters. Keep an eye. When you are ready, simply confirm your purchase with the confirm button. Congratulations! You just acquired nitron. However, it will not. On the left side is your current inventory. On the right side is the market container. Here you can see the nitron you just purchased. Note that if you want to put a sell order now, to get your fuel, simply drag.
To jsem udělal. Už to udělal. Koupím jeden.
Great. You are now an accomplished trader. When you are ready, you can close the market interface by clicking. Before we go to the Institute Plaza, let's have a look at the connected surrogate VR stations, just behind you. Follow the waypoint. I invite you to come back here at the end of this tutorial, and activate any of these surrogate VR stations. You will be presented with a list of incredible sites to visit, anywhere in the world, through a remote-controlled robot. You can sort them by the number of recent visitors, to see the most popular first. This is a great way to discover what is possible here. Let's now go in the direction of the plaza, but follow the waypoint to the district teleporters first.
Okay.
In front of you are teleporters that grant you instant access to any of the 10 districts around the Ark ship. Each of these districts is identical to the one you are currently in, but Novians will start their journey in any one of them at random. You can use these teleporters to quickly reach a particular market, or to meet with friends on another district. Now, let's follow the waypoint to one of the most important places of this district, the Institute Plaza, just at the top of the stairs.
Počkej. Aha. Što? No ty krávo.
In front of you is a map of the plaza, with the different institute buildings. There is an institute for each core activity. Note that this district is not unique. As we saw just before, there are 10 similar. Finally, let's get to the last step of our introduction, the Twin Moon Shuttle service. Follow the waypoint. Now, turn left and follow the waypoint again. Here we are. The button in front of you calls a free Sanctuary Moon Shuttle service. This shuttle will connect you to a similar district on the Sanctuary Twin Moon. As soon as this introduction is over, I will guide you to get there. Then you can claim a tile for yourself using the Sanctuary Territory unit you collected earlier. Let's take a look at the shuttle on your right. At this stage, you may not want to deploy your speeder blueprint. If you do it here, on Alioth, you will have to dismantle it to redeploy it again on the Sanctuary Twin Moon. To learn how to dismantle a speeder, you should go to the building tutorial in the Building Institute. You should instead keep your blueprint ready to deploy when you are on the Sanctuary. Remember, to deploy your speeder blueprint, simply double-click on it in your inventory. Alright. That's it. You should now be prepared for the incredible adventure ahead of you. Just one more thing. I'll put some broad objectives for you in the upper left of the screen. These are suggestions of milestones to follow to properly build up your experience in Dual Universe, and they are very much recommended. Feel free to follow these at any time you feel ready, or to bypass them entirely. Check the objectives section of the map for more details on how to complete these objectives. From now on, I'll be much less directive with you on how to do things. The first of these milestones is for you to reach the Sanctuary Twin Moon. You can use the shuttle service right next to you. Safe travel, Novian. I'll see you there.
Loading. No, tak letíme na jinou planetu, že?
Welcome on the Twin.
To moc
Now,
informací.
the next step is to try to locate a free tile on the map, get there and claim it. Try to find a tile not too far from a market, identified with the M icon. This will be useful later. To help you visualize the boundary of a tile in the 3D world, you can... Excellent, you are now ready to go hunt for your free tile. It's probably also a good time for you to deploy your speeder now, so that you can travel faster. If you want to do so, go in your inventory and double-click on the speeder blueprint, then deploy it in the world. Now, to proceed further, I'll be waiting until you have deployed your Sanctuary Territory unit. Congratulations. You have successfully deployed your speeder bloop. Now, the next step is to put fuel in the fuel tank. For this, simply open your inventory by pressing the inventory key. Great. Search the content of your inventory and look for the nitron fuel. Double-click on its icon to auto-locate the fuel tank on the speeder. It's highlighted. Aim at it, and hold the left mouse button until you fill it entirely.
Okay.
Very good. Note also that you can pocket your construct into a massless compacted version, seen as a blueprint in your inventory. This is convenient to transport it between Alioth and the Sanctuary Moon, while taking the shuttle. To do so, you will have to right-click on the vehicle and select Construct Compactification in the Construct submenu. This works only with small vehicle, like this speeder. Okay, you're now ready to go explore. If you want to start piloting the speeder, target the seat, and activate it by holding the interaction button to start piloting the speeder. I will leave you on your own now. Enjoy exploring your new world.
Ale tam je nějaký volný plácek. Není. Okay. My location. Což to za někam sem. O 26 kilometrů. OK. Takže benzín mám na hodinu. Takhle. Tady je asi jako volný plácek prej. Jsou taky nějaký volný. Zřejmě. Jo, ještě 10 kilometrů. Ty sekunda. Už je to je dálka. To umíš číst? Jak se to jmenuje? To je ta verze. Připomíná mi to Landmark. Akorát, že Landmark nebyl víc to budovatelský. Nebo teda budovatelský, nebyl z vesmíru. Ale taky, zabral si tam místo a znamenal si. Jestli jsem to dobře pochopil, máš tady PvP zónu a PvE zónu. Když jsi v PvP zóně na jiném měsíci, ne tady, kde jsem teď, tady Secure Oblast. Počkej, někde na mapu. Takové vody je to zabraný, no. Nebude vody, no. Aspoň jsme na zelený už. Jdem se podívat sem. Nějaký kopečky. Prostě když jsi v PvPčkový zóně, tak ti může hráč jako zabrat něco. No to je jako, kterou oblast si můžeš zabrat. OK, takže jsme tu. OK. A teď deploy your sanctuary territory units. Aim. Deploy.
Fantastic. You are now the proud owner of a territory tile on a sanctuary moon. Check it out in the map. This unlocks the
Náhodou,
possibility for you
asky
to
musel by to být špatný, protože...
within your tile.
Ano, jestli jsem to dobře pochopil, jakože jo. Tak... What? Jsem to asi nepochopil. Myslím, že když tady je tohle, tak jakože... Jako prej tady jde jako společně stavět loď, jako hráči. Vesmírnou, velkou. To mi je líbí. Mám harvestnou materiály, když... Step 2. Moment. Filtr. Filtr. Nevidím filtr. Aha, tady. No, tak to je v pohodě, to jako... Teď to hledá klidně všechno. Moment. Jsem se asi ztratil. To je zase... Já už nevím, kam mám jít. Už nevím kam. Tady natěžím leda hovno. Tak tohle nebude špatný, ale... Jenom musíš přijít na to, co a jak, no. Hmm. to nic. Tohle to je na díl. Přemýšlím, co s tím, jak to udělat. Nenašel jsem nic na netu. Jako asi to nebude špatný, ale musím s tím ještě něco udělat. Tak já tam dám něco jiného, tohle to je fakt dlouho.